go now. Get set. Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
When I was first approached for Dr. Mansingh's book, I said I need to take a few days and I need to read through it because I wanted to understand what this book is about. His title, his profile read quite a few things he has achieved, from being a global leader to an influencer to an entrepreneur, author, technologist. He's a visionary, innovator. There's just so much, and an international speaker as well. In this book, what Dr. Mansingh is trying to do is give us an insight to not only his life and his personal experiences, but what he's achieved with it and what we can probably put to practice and achieve. Because he believes, and I think I believe myself too, that everyone has the power in themselves and the potential in themselves to unleash whatever best we can in this lifetime itself. So it's called Achieving Meaningful Success, Unleash the Power of Me by Dr. Vivek Mansingh on the show with me today. Dr. Mansingh, thank you so much for joining me.
Happy to be here, Annie.
Dr. Mansingh, your journey, like I did mention a little while ago, has been very interesting. Tell us about that stage of your life, that phase of your life.
I come from a small city called Fatehpur in India. I'm a Hindi school product, so sat on the ground up to grade 10. Hindi school product, I describe in my book that I gave my IIT entrance exam and saw a paper in English first time in my life. Obviously couldn't understand most of it, so I could not succeed. But then I went into NIT Allahabad, and to compensate for my failure at IIT, I gave myself a goal that I will graduate at the top of the class. And I was gold medalist from NIT Allahabad. I immediately got a scholarship to go and do my PhD. So then after PhD, I moved to California and I started my journey at Hewlett Packard. So my unique background, Annie, is, I'll just summarize it anyways, that I have had an opportunity to work with David Packard, Bill Hewlett of HP, Michael Dell of Dell, Cisco, John Chambers, and Steve Jobs.
It's been such an interesting journey so far. Did you know Dr. Vivek Mansingh was also part of the core team of Apple, working with Steve Jobs himself in setting up the company Apple? We're going to talk about it when we come back on the other side. Don't go anywhere. And also don't forget to check out his new book. It's Achieving Meaningful Success, Unleash the Power of Me, written by Dr. Vivek Mansingh, my guest today on the show. This is Afternoons with Annie. Back to music.
Here we go now. Get set. Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
On my show today, a tech visionary, innovator, entrepreneur, author and motivational speaker, Dr. Vivek Mansingh. He's out with his new book, Achieving Meaningful Success, Unleash the Power Within Me. Dr. Mansingh, you've worked with the legend Steve Jobs himself. It's usually everyone's dream to work with him. You got that opportunity. What was Steve's way or method to building a team?
Steve's way of building team was very amazing. He wanted only the top people in the world to be in his team.
Right.
And since I was part of that, so I worked there. And then he designed the first product as iMac.
Right.
And iMac was the first product. I worked with him, and I designed the product to his specification. And my proud position is he has given me a poster of iMac under which he says, Vivek and team couldn't have done without you, signed Steve Jobs.
Wow. Right? Kudos.
So I reached that level. Now this was 2000.
So it was at the peak of your career that you left everything you built back in the US and came back to India. What was the reason to return?
My mother had some health problems, so we took her to US. They used to live in India, in Fatehpur, where right now I am. And then my mother was checked at Stanford Hospital, and they said she has 6 months to live. That evening, I discussed with my wife and my children, one was in 8th grade, one was in 5th grade. And I said, look, now is the important decision we have to make. We have to go back and take care of my mother and your dadi.
Right.
And we, trust me, we decided to move back.
Wow.
I had never been to Bangalore before. I had no jobs. I was CEO there of my company that I had founded. I gave that job to my next person. And now moving to Bangalore, where do you ship the luggage? Trust me, I gave the address of Taj in Bangalore to ship my luggage because I had no other place.
Right.
We landed up in Bangalore, and then I'll tell that story afterwards later. But important point again, Annie, the question you asked is $1 million question. when mother needed help, everything else became not so important.
Right.
Money became not important. Being in US was not important. Being number one in field was not important. I was writing a book at that time, not important. The important was to take care of my mother and then later on father. And so we moved here, and that is the story. But how can some person make this decision, which I see many of my friends struggle, that is the reason the book exists, which is, if you are clear about your goals and your priorities, you will know what is important for you and at what point in your life, and you have to just make it happen.
Well, your story is nothing short of an inspiration. More conversation with Dr. Vivek Mansingh on the other side. Don't go anywhere. This is Afternoons with Annie on 94.3 Radio 1. Back to music.
Here we go now. Get set. Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
It's called Achieving Meaningful Success, Unleash the Power of Me by Dr. Vivek Mansingh on the show with me today. Well, this is my first read. I'm sure I'm going to keep coming back to it. You must get your hands on this. I've just got 3 questions. They are called the quick fire round questions. The very first question is, you have probably touched every area of expertise that you've wanted to or wish to be in, from technology to VC now to various other businesses that you have run on your own, including charitable organizations. What I'd like to ask you then, do you have time for yourself? And if in that case, the answer is yes, you may have been able to catch a movie lately. What is the recent movie you watched?
Yes, I always have time for myself and my family. Always. No matter how difficult situation or circumstances are. Yes, my recent movie has been 83. And what a movie. It's a phenomenal. I'm a cricket fan, but I was not in India. I had left India in 1981. And so I was in Canada, and at that time there was no television, radio, not like this. So I had only read about India's victory. Absolutely. So that is my latest movie. And yes, I do watch movies occasionally. I'm a big music buff. I love music, both Hindustani classical and ghazals and other things. I'm a cricket fan. I'm an avid traveler. I have visited 50 countries.
Wow.
I love wildlife. I have visited all the major wildlife parks in the world, whether they are in South Africa or America or India.
Lovely.
Or many places to go.
Lovely.
So I'm not a single dimension person, and I don't think anybody should be that way.
Right, absolutely. Going forward, one little goal, maybe a small goal that you have for this year, 2022. What is it that you're looking forward to?
So my longer term goals that I gave myself at the age 65 are actually, the top 3 ones are: 1, I want to create 3 to 5 unicorns from India in product and technology space. So Indian startup ecosystem is still not known for products. There are no products from India that are popular globally. So we have the Flipkarts and the Naukri.com and Make My Trip, etc. They were copies of Western online sites.
Yes.
Now I want to create 3 to 5 Indian startups that will have name from India over a period of time. Third goal is to mentor 1 million, which I am doing through this book. The book is a mentor, and I want to impact 1 million people through this. Sure. And I have other giving back goals and so on. Now my fitness goals are there. Sometimes I meet it, sometimes I do not. But my goals are also to walk 5 kilometers a day. My goals are also in terms of not to exceed this much weight. So it all around my life. Giving back, I am very, very big on that. Actually, I am here at Fatehpur right now to open an eye hospital for less privileged people. So those are also captured as goals. So Annie, my wheel of goal is full, and from those I have very, very precisely defined yearly goals, which I generally achieve. I always miss 1 or 2, but that's life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Not only are your thoughts inspirational, but putting that very honestly and with a vision into a book and being able to help people find their own vision and clarity in life is also a good deed. It's also another way of giving back to society. Thank you so much for your effort. Thank you so much for the book. And I hope to catch you soon.
Thank you, Annie. I enjoyed talking to you.